And we're live and back. Alright. Sorry about that transition, everybody. We went a little bit late with that game, but gotta let the forwards have their live stream.
Don't apologize, it didn't end fast enough.
Let's see here. Refresh that. Alright, so, we want to go ahead and talk about Lee Sin if you want to talk about him real quick. Was there anything you noticed or stuff like that?
Yeah, so the early invade was good. Shyvana wants to farm a lot. You could have went in there, you could have taken her Krugs, you could have taken her red buff, and then you could have went and ganked Garen top. But instead, you just took one of her Krugs, and then went and played around with Garen top. And you stay up there for a really long time. And I guess went and took Gromp after that, and then he ended up with like 3 CS at like 8 minutes. And you got level 3 just because you were in top lane for so long and got the side experience. So you need to be decisive about your early game movements. Lee Sin wants to pressure early game, and that was a really good move. But once everything was done there and you knew that there wasn't going to be a kill there, you needed to go back and finish your clear. And also decisiveness, and whenever you're in their jungle, you need to take their camp and not just part of it, especially early game.
Yeah, I would like to see you take red buff first, because that would actually help a lot with your first gank too.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that early level 2 gank, it would have helped you chase down that Garen and done a lot of true damage to him. So
I really liked your build. I would have, like, the only thing that I really in your build that I would suggest differently would be upgrade your trinket and maybe something a little better than Sunfire Cape, like maybe Deadman's Plate. I hadn't played it with that model very much.
yeah, something besides Sunfire Cape.
How's Sterix on him?
Aegis might have been okay. There wasn't a lot of magic damage coming from the enemy team, but Shyvana does mixed damage. Fizz was doing quite a bit, so Aegis would have been good. It would have made you even tankier than Sunfire Cape, even though, like, it's just not a very great item if you're not going to snowball like your first item
with
with
the
it.
CDR, and then whenever Fizz lands a fish on someone you're around, you can pop your active for your Aegis, and it's a lot of damage reduction.
Yep. Alright, cool. Who's the next one? Poppy?
Yep, Poppy.
Alright, I think we've talked about Poppy a little bit. Is there anything that stood out to you, or we've kind of, I feel like we've covered...
No, I've talked to Beaver about his Poppy build before, and he likes the full damage build because of his passive and because of his ult, and he usually does fairly well with it. And it's not that it doesn't work, but if you go Trinity Force into tank, or Trinity Force Bork into tank, you still do a ton of damage, and you become almost unkillable between your passive, your tankiness from your items, and your ult, and you become even more of a pain in the ass than you are when you go full damage. Because when you go full damage, you're a pain in the ass for a minute, and then you end up dying.
Yeah.
But he did really well whenever Garen made his teleports to capitalize on it, push the lane up. You got behind really early. I think you tried to play the lane more aggressive than you should have. But that's what Poppy has to do to get ahead. You had to kind of test him out. Yeah, that's about it. I probably would have sold Flask at some point in there and tried to get something, at least a spot for wards. Pinks.
I guess it's weird to talk about an AD LeBlanc. I think he found it a bit difficult in the mid game to kill people than he was early on. That's the kind of weakness of AD LeBlanc, is early game you're a god, but you fall off really hard. You fall off a lot harder than AP LeBlanc. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about that at all. Or
I've seen him play it before. It wasn't one of his better games on AD LeBlanc. He did all right.
hmm
I don't really know much about AD LeBlanc, so I can't comment on
he played it
build or
well.
anything. But
Yeah, it was fine.
I mean, he made his picks.
There was one part where he roamed bot when he was needed to, but when he went bot, he was really, really low. And he went in, tried to get a quick kill on Garen and jump back out, but they were able to get a bit more damage on him, and Fizz was just able to walk up and one-hit him.
Even as AD LeBlanc, I wouldn't have went teleport.
Yeah, I guess teleport's another thing.
Especially mid lane.
Especially if you're looking for somebody who's so... Like, AD LeBlanc relies on being a lane bully and lane dominance, and I feel like if you're not taking Ignite, you're kind of cheating her out of that a bit, especially if your opponent takes Ignite. But
yeah, and if you're mid lane, especially against someone like Fizz, then your opponent's going to take Ignite.
Yeah.
And Fizz was already locked in whenever you went, so you knew where. Well, I guess Fizz could have went top, but
he says so. Yeah, when you do roam, try to make sure you keep tabs on your enemy mid laner and see if they're following, if they're pushing. Try to guess where they're gonna go and what route they're gonna take, so that even if you know nothing happens from your roam. Yeah.
you can keep your team safe with pings and whatnot.
Yeah. Did you want to join into the game 3? I already set it up. I just
Okay.
I just wanted to set it up so we could just make sure it's there to get going. But yeah, try to keep track of the enemy mid laner when you do roam, so that even if like you're not successful, you can maybe make a pick on him when he tries to catch up, or something to that effect. Moving on to Lucian, you guys were able to get an early kill bot lane with Nautilus. After that, I saw you have a little trouble dealing with Shyvana, I believe. And when Shyvana builds Sated Devour, you have to be really, really careful to not be in range of her double bite because of the on-hit effects from Sated Devour. And if she gets Flame Breath on you, plus the double bite, you're as good as dead. And it's really, really annoying to face as an AD carry if you have a Shyvana with Sated Devour diving on you with Blade of the Ruin King to slow you even more. But try to communicate to, say, Nautilus or Poppy that, hey, I need you guys to just lock down and focus Shyvana. Because when she does do that build, she's not that tanky. She did end up building Randuin's Omen and Spirit Visage.
I really like this build, but we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, no, his build is great. It's just that when you build Sated Devour into Blade of the Ruin King, you're really squishy for the first half of the game. So if you're on the other team and you see the enemy Shyvana do that build, tell them to focus her when she does jump in, because she's squishy and will go down like that. Nautilus, Glory into Face of the Mountain into Glory. Yeah, that's all right.
I don't hate it.
An early Frozen Heart might have been a bit more beneficial just because of the Shyvana and Vayne that you can affect with it. But, yeah, I just feel like a Frozen Heart would have been better a little bit earlier, but it's not like it was a bad build or anything. So.
Yeah, I agree. And upgrade your sleeper.
Yeah, upgrade sweeper. That's pretty important. Lucian, try to upgrade. When you see your support buy a Sightstone, just go and start looking to switch to Blue Trinket and upgrade it at some point. That doesn't necessarily mean like right away, oh, they got Sightstone, let me switch to Blue Trinket. Just like when you notice it, just be like, next time I'm back, I'll switch over to Blue Trinket.
Yeah, and for the people that play ADC, the reason that ADCs go Blue Trinket is because it's really not safe for them to have a sweeper to walk into a bushes that they can't, even if they can see inside the bush, to walk in and try to sweep it, they're just asking to get picked. Because if there is a ward there, then they can see you do that, and if they're close, then they can collapse on you.
Yep.
And you have to get too close to put a ward in there, but Blue Trinket, you can check brushes and stuff from a distance and keep your team from getting picked when you're walking through the jungle. And also, once you upgrade it, you can put a ward further away than anyone else can.
Yeah.
That lasts for a minute.
Okay, moving
So-
on to Fizz, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see anything with Fizz?
Not really. He played the lane pretty well. There's a few times I thought he got a little old happy and tried to hit it from further distance than he should have.
Mm-hmm.
But there were also a couple times where I saw him really patient in the bush, especially with seeing somebody coming in for a pick and caught him right as they were walking into the bush point blank. So I think just a little more patience with the ult. I think he played team fights pretty well for the most part, because he would go in with troll pole and Q into the middle of their team and Zhonya's, and the enemy team would just kind of look, and then all of a sudden you have a Shyvana jump in and a Garen jump in, and Vayne just starts picking people off.
Yep. Yeah, I thought he played well overall. He was able to follow LeBlanc down when she roamed and got that kill. That was a really good move. That's one thing as Fizz and LeBlanc, they're both champions that they can like go in and try to outplay each other, or they can both roam very easily with their mobility. So it's always good to try and, like, if you have wards placed in the river bush, you can really attract your opponent a lot more and surprise them or follow them more effectively. So that's something to keep in mind as you play mid lane.
And that's another thing is the upgraded trinket. You used it, and you used it a lot. You placed 21 wards, which is, like I was saying earlier, it's really impressive for an assassin. But as an assassin, one of the things that you really want to do is make picks. So a sweeper is really good for that too. So you might, maybe depending on game, maybe depending on what you see the rest of your team has, maybe try sweeper sometimes, because if you can get into a bush and know you're not seen, you can, and you know the enemy's going to be coming through there, then you can sit there and get a pick that way.
Alright.
But not going to fault you for the upgraded trinket if you're going to use it.
Yeah. Moving on to Alistar. I like your items. Kind of the same thing. I don't know when you built Glory or... Glory's okay.
I can check. I like Glory on Alistar.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm not,
I don't
not
see...
a huge fan of the item, but he built it at 35 minutes.
I mean, if you guys are good building magic resist item, like they didn't really need to at all because of how the enemy team was built. But like Poppy, Nautilus, and LeBlanc were kind of like they do. Like Poppy's a mix, LeBlanc was a mix. Like so, just like an Aegis, I would like to see that.
Yeah, on both teams, I would have liked to have seen an Aegis somewhere.
Yeah. So just it's even though it did get nerfed. Actually pretty heavily this last patch. They took away the health regen aura, which is baloney. It's still a really great item, at least for your team. If you're gonna buy it individually, it's kind of like just for yourself. It's kind of It's definitely more meh. But yeah, I would like to see that. But otherwise, your item build's fine. Upgraded trinket, upgraded sightstone.
The only thing that I would say is you upgraded the sightstone at 37 minutes. And the game ended at 38 minutes, so you probably would have been better off getting an elixir than the upgraded sightstone, because I mean you only get what 250 health.
Like, I know they went all AD, but even all AD LeBlanc, I feel like half her damage is doing. Let's see, total damage dealt. She did 15,000 physical damage to champions and 20,000 magic damage. She still did more magic damage than physical damage.
Yeah, even...
And Poppy did more magic than physical damage. Like, they do mixed, especially with how LeBlanc built, but it's still magic damage is a huge part of their kit.
Yeah, even when they build AD on AP champions, when they use their spells are still magic damage. And especially you have two people with Sheens, and that's going to be magic damage. And Nautilus is going to have a little bit of magic damage in there too.
Yep. Alright.
And even a little bit from Sunfire Cape from Lee Sin.
Mhm.
And there's just little bits of magic damage that the Aegis will help with.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to Vayne. You're. I'm trying to determine if you should have gotten Last Whisper instead of Infinity Edge as your third item. I'm not sure.
I don't think they had enough armor at the time.
Yeah, I was thinking Garen, but Garen was on your team, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, looking at it,
Yeah,
I
at
can
least-
I can understand that. I think I'm leaning more Infinity Edge third item, so I really don't have an issue with your build.
Lee Sin eventually did, but
Yeah.
he didn't get. He got randos at 23 minutes. And Vayne got Infinity Edge. Started building Infinity Edge at 21.
Mhm. Yeah. No, that's so. Yeah, the build is good. I would like to see Blue Trinket instead of an upgraded Trinket. Their early laning was a bit difficult, but you guys kind of soldiered through it. Your CS was okay, but
That tends to be Vayne lanes if your enemy opponent is halfway competent, and Vayne can have a hard time in lane.
yeah.
But I think as far as like your build, I think I liked your build. Your team fighting was pretty good, but it's when you were skirmishing with just 2 or 3 people, I think you got pretty over aggressive a lot. In the small skirmishes, when it was like 5v5, I think you did really well staying on the outside and just attacking what you could. But when it was like 2v2 or 3v3, you wouldn't somehow end up in the middle of the fight.
Alright. Overall good game. And we're going to move on to Garen, who really kind of led the team. 14 kills, 5 deaths, 8 assists.
Yeah,
Really?
He talked to me before the game, and he's like, "They banned my Riven. What do I do?" And he's a new player, so I told him, I said, "Well, play Garen. He's not banned, and he's a really strong champion."
Mm-hmm.
And
He's an early game.
He's a simple champion that we like to point newer players to, and I didn't know if he'd ever played it or not. He just offered it up as a suggestion, and
It's
he
fine.
went into
Like,
lane and
it's fine to go too aggressive as Garen because you can usually get out of it. Like, and I think a lot of it was the execution. Like, we noticed you missed your ulti a couple times on the wrong target, or you silenced the wrong target every once in a while, and that'll just
that's
come
not
with.
anniversary talking
Oh,
in
yeah.
chat. That's Vayne.
Oh yeah. But yeah, for Garen, like I noticed that you missed like ult like twice and silenced a couple times in the middle of a team fight. So, but other than that, you were able to bully and take advantage of a Poppy in lane, which is what you really need to do against her. And your build is really good. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't think
there's
anybody
a
on.
couple ways to build Garen.
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the T-Force network really is a fan of Boots of Swiftness. I don't think that, like, the scenarios where Boots of Swiftness are good. I can't think one off the top of my head.
Nasus. I build Boots of Swiftness against Nasus.
Maybe, yeah. That might be a good one. But not
yeah,
in this case, yeah.
And even if you were gonna build him for whatever reason this game, you built him too early. You could have you could have finished your Black Cleaver earlier and got brown boots, and just from the stage passive in your brown boots, you would have had decent enough speed.
Mm-hmm.
You could have went Mercs. It would have helped with
Yep.
the CC,
The
and-
chains from LeBlanc when they stunned you. The stuns and slows from Nautilus. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had a lot that you could have got out of with the Mercs. There's a few ways. You have a few ways to build Garen. You can go damage build, or you can go tank build. What I would recommend there is I would have liked to see you go a little more tanky this game, and the reason why is because you had a Devourer, Shyvana doing a lot of damage, you had a Vayne doing a lot of damage, and you had a Fizz doing a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Fizz doing a lot of damage. And so you really just needed to be a tank, and with Black Cleaver into tank, you would have done plenty of damage.
Yeah.
That being said, you did only go 2 damage items, and you got tanky, and
Yeah, I would have
still unkillable.
Oh,
So
yeah, go ahead.
I'm not gonna fault you for that. I mean, you were doing tons of damage in fights.
I might have
staying alive. So
yeah, I might have preferred something like Brutalizer into what's that name?
Ghostblade.
Yeah, Ghostblade instead of Last Whisper, just because. I don't know, we were talking about Vayne and she didn't have a Last Whisper, and that was okay because the armor wasn't really stacked on the other team. So that Last Whisper is, because it's percentage based, it wasn't doing really all that much. Poppy didn't build any armor, LeBlanc didn't, Lucian didn't. Nautilus built a little bit at the end. Lee Sin was the only one who did build some early armor. So
and you already had Black Cleaver.
Yeah, you already have Black Cleaver, so but Ghostblade works really well as another offensive item for Garen. So look into that, try it out.
While you're spinning and just stay on top of someone while they're running
Mm-hmm.
away, or to chase someone down to hit a silence.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot you can do with the speed up from it.
Yep. And finally, we're gonna cover Shyvana here before we start our third game. Sated Devour, you got it. You stacked it early on. You didn't get it too late. You still tried to help out your team even though you were stacking it. I remember you ulting onto a Lee Sin that you saw as he was low going to his Raptors. You saw that because somebody on your team, it could have been you, I forget who it was, put down a pink ward in that jungle entrant to the enemy jungle entrance, and so you're able to capitalize that, get another, like, you still get stacks by killing people, so it's no reason to not be active in counter gank or kink if you choose this build path. So it was good to see that you went out and weren't just focused on farming, only that. Yeah, into Blade of the Rune King, and it looks like, I think Ninja Tabby's actually a pretty decent pick here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I really liked the build. A lot of Devour Shyvanas that I've seen have just tried to go full damage, and yeah, they do a ton of damage, but they also get really squishy. But with your build, you didn't really, like, at the end of the game, you weren't really squishy, and you did tons of damage. So I really liked that. I'm not sure about the Spirit Visage. That could have been the perfect place for the Locket on your team. You would have still got the 10% cooldown, and you would have helped your team to take a little less damage as well. So I probably would have liked to see Locket over the Spirit Visage if you were gonna go for a magic resist item, because no one on their team actually was magic or building magic. They're just getting it from their skills.
Alright. Cool. Alright, I think that's going to do it for this final game. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and post them in chat. We'll try to answer them. You crit on your spin. I believe you... Yeah, I believe that's... Even after they changed them, you can still crit on your spin. It's pretty funny. Or did they take that away? I forget.
I'm not sure. Did you realize that
they were
Red Team
debating
had 5
taking
dragons?
it away. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, Shyvana was on top of the dragons. Alright, so with that, it looks like we're ready to get this final game going.
Nope.
Or not. Somebody left. Well, it looks like I got one spot left if anybody out there wants to join. Game, Battle Arena. Game 3. Password, Tuco. I'll post it here in the T4's chat room here. Just a sec. Remember to have private games checked when you search for it. So look for it, have private games checked. I like how Stalker's just in the spectator area. Hold on, hold on. Yo, mama's coming. It's late, man. We gotta get going. I wish I'd kept I'm not gonna reinvite. I don't have the power to reinvite people. I'm already in spectator. Let's see here. It's actually looking pretty even, don't you think? Yeah, let's go. I will wreck. You start. You are the game owner. Whenever you're ready to go, let's go. Sweet! Alright everybody, welcome. This is game 3 of Battle Arena. Unofficially sponsored by Coke Zero, as seen by this awesome portrait picture of Richard Sherman, the best cornerback in all the NFL, drinking it. So just keep in mind, Coke Zero, better than Diet Coke. And we're going on to game 3 here. How's the fun? Oh yeah, I did ban that guy for spamming. So, let's see here. Skarner, Shyvana, both pretty basic bans.
Yeah, Skarner's really stupid with the new buffs. I don't know if you've seen him played, but
Yeah, they hot fixed him, but who knows?
I was playing a game on my Smurf earlier with some of the people from the network, and we had to play blind pick because one of our Smurfs didn't have enough champions, and so Skarner's free week. One picked him up, and just does so much damage.
Yeah, he's still pretty strong. We see the Vayne ban. She is actually pretty popular in solo queue right now, so I can kind of see her being banned. I don't think she's necessarily ban worthy, but I can see it. Garen, understandable. He's strong right now. He's up there in the top tier mid laners with Fiora, Gangplank, Aurelia.
Top laners.
Even Sion is still a strong option top lane. So
yeah, whenever I don't know what to play top, I usually just pick a tank, and my favorite's Shen. So if they're not playing somebody that just kills them, I go Shen. But if I don't know what I'm going against and I'm going top lane, then I just pick Sion because he's pretty safe and there's stout.
and
Not
the final.
a huge fan of the Blitzcrank ban. Blitzcrank is strong and he can carry a team, but he's also pretty weak in lane if you can dodge his hook.
Yeah, it's kind of like Morgana. She does pretty well and she can make picks for the game, but in lane, if she sends out her binding and it doesn't hit anything, all priority is lost for her in lane.
Yeah, you can dodge a Blitzcrank hook and then you just run at Blitzcrank and just chunk him,
hammer him. The Mordekaiser ban was good though. He's actually pretty decently strong. Again, if you don't know how to play against him, it's definitely a good ban to have. I haven't seen him much in solo queue yet, but I've seen it a couple times in normal games, and a lot of times people just don't know what to do against him. Right off the... Oh, go ahead.
Pretty surprised. I played him a couple days ago, and I was really surprised with just how much damage he did. I just went Trinity Force tank pretty much in the bottom lane, and I couldn't be killed. They could, and I was like 2v1ing, 3v1ing. I like the Braum pickup whenever you see that you have a Yasuo that can lead to a good combos.
Yeah, I'm usually a bit wary of first picking Yasuo right off the bat, but it's nice to see the team helping them out. Yeah, to say the least.
It seems like half the time you see a first pick Yasuo and the other laner's like, okay, well, I'm going Heimerdinger, and Azir. Well, no, Azir has a knockup, but don't offer any help from other lanes. And he also is really tough to play whenever you're the only setup you have.
Maria, it looks like we're gonna see. Is that gonna be a mid lane Kha'Zix? Is this Alex Ich invading Battle Arena?
Yeah, I don't so much mind the Nautilus. I thought she was gonna lock in Leona, which is kind of a rough lane against Braum, just being melee, but I think Nautilus has a lot more utility to offer.
Yeah.
As far as
Nautilus actually has the
stuff.
ability to kind of eventually escape if he can land his hook on a wall.
Yeah.
Leona can only go one direction, that's in. And another knockup champ, dear lord. Well,
it looks like Kha'Zix and Zed might be switching.
yeah, that might be the case. Alright. Well, we're gonna have an action-packed game to say the least. Oh man, blue team is gonna throw all their damage into 2 people.
Here comes Riven. Yeah.
And purple team's just like, Nautilus, you're tank enough. We're good. Yeah, all that AD. That is a lot of AD on purple team. I would not be surprised just to see a bunch of armor on the other team. Malphite is very, very happy right now.
Oh, yeah.
He might.
Yes.
I'm guessing he's gonna go Cinder Hulk into Dead Man's Plate.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. And then, you know, Frozen Heart necessarily isn't that great against that lineup, but the CDR will help a lot too, and even more armor.
Yeah, it's still worth it on Malphite just for the 20% CDR. Get your ult up that much faster.
And yeah, Maokai can go almost any junk or armor item in BL, right, too. And Braum. Yeah, all those guys love building health and armor, so
Yeah.
if they
I'm
have
a little worried for purple team because they went all AD and because they went all bursty AD, and blue team's pretty tanky.
yeah. If
Unless
purple
someone
team's
tries
gonna have
like
to make
a
things
cheesy build.
happen early, I feel like. Because once blue team gets a couple armor items, it's gonna be really tough. Really tough. Devour into Gensis.
I think if they can keep Yasuo down, because the team is really invested in the Yasuo.
And the Yasuo and the Callista.
But
Yeah, they really
like,
have 2 damage targets, but at the same time, there's no one to soak up that much damage on purple team. So even if it's just Malphite and Maokai like hammering and outweigh people, they're gonna do a lot of damage by themselves. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but Riven's still kind of naturally tanky a little bit, and then Nautilus will be tanky.
Yeah.
Not really tanky for Riven, but I don't know how to say it, but like bruisery without building tanky.
Yeah. We're loading up here. Final game of Battle Arena. It's been a long Battle Arena. I don't know. I need to start cutting back on some things. I feel like whenever I run Battle Arena, because it's running way too long. But it's fun. This last game should be pretty interesting to watch. There's a lot of high skilled champs involved Zed, Riven, Kha'Zix, Yasuo, Kalista. Those are all just extremely. The floors are the floor is a little high on some of them, but the ceiling's really high on all of those. And you can do so much with them. Each one of these little freezes sets me so far behind. Yeah, I probably could set my stream up better for you guys out there. I'll look into it after this broadcast, so I'm not streaming like pure 1080p or whatever I have it at. I could probably tone it down a bit.
Yeah, just I think
I think
like I was saying, I think if you keep Yasuo down, purple team has a chance to for the game when it goes later, if they can keep him down that long. And it's gonna be hard because he's gonna have a lot of free ults.
Yeah, he is.
Set up, and Kalista's still gonna be able to do damage. And you know, Malphite's ult still does a lot of damage, and Maokai still does decent damage for a tank. And even Braum, as a support, does somewhat okay damage.
The bot lane, Braum and Kalista versus Nautilus and Jinx have actually pretty early kill pressure. Braum isn't the best laner. He struggles a bit unless he, I don't know, this situation has to be right for him to do well. And his engage is okay, it's not the best. Nautilus brings a lot more engagement if a jungler comes down to gank. So I kind of expect Jinx to do pretty well in this matchup, but we'll see. She outranges Kalista when she goes into rocket mode, and she can really punish her.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it in Champion Select, but I really like the Nautilus pick into Kalista. Not sure if they picked it into her or not. I think Kalista actually picked into Nautilus.
But yeah, he's one of the few people who can lock her down long enough for your team to.
Because he just points and clicks and ults her and gets knocked up, and then from the knock up you can anchor into her, then auto attack her, and can't go anywhere.
Alright, so that is Jungle Kha'Zix. Malphite might have a little bit of trouble early on. What's the O for?
Nautilus started Ancient Coin.
Yeah, I mean, Ancient Coin is, it's strong enough to be started by anyone. I don't know if I necessarily like it because I feel they have an advantage in lane, and by going Relic Shield, they can really afford to go all in and lock down Kalista and kill her early on. I feel like their matchup, it favors them where they could do that, and building Ancient Coin first it reinforces a style where you're passive. You're not really going in for you can trade a bit, but you also want to stay back and heal up from the minions dying around you. So it's yeah, I would prefer Relic Shield, but Ancient Coin can work. It really can. I'm not the biggest fan, but it can work. They'll just have to maybe be a bit wary about it.
And Braum doesn't have biscuits. And
no,
Kalista
he doesn't.
Needs to bind with Braum.
Two very important points.
A minute and 40 seconds in the game. It isn't bound yet.
Alright, here we go. Very skill dependent matchup going on mid lane.
So, laning phase has started and Kalista still hasn't bound with Braum, so I don't know when she's planning on doing that.
Yeah, binding is what allows you to have that passive on W, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's negating a huge chunk of your damage if you don't bind
Well,
with you.
not so much with a Braum because
He's not gonna be autoing much.
melee,
Yeah.
but you still want to do it so when you hit, like as soon as you hit 6, you can go in pretty much with your lane.
Yeah.
But you're probably not going to be back by the time you go 6, hit 6, and build the binding. They just bound in lane.
Hmm.
Little tree going on top.
Yep. Both junglers kind of maneuvering through to their second buffs now. No level 2 ganks, which is fine. Whoa! There's that first blood.
Huh.
There's Riven. Yep. Early level Riven. Strong.
Yeah.
I didn't see what happened, did you? Or
Yeah, they were trading a little bit, and they were both pretty low. And then Riven flash stunned.
okay.
But Riven is really low here and really needs to be careful,
Oh yeah.
especially since you were just seen using your stun to kill a minion. It's good that you try to push up, but you're hurting yourself right now because you have to run back before you can get back, because you're staying in lane. Oh, you have pots, so
She has
you
some
can.
pots, so she might be able to stay. Weaving those autos in between every single spell. Malphite's too low to really help unless he can surprise. Oh, that's done though.
This
Ooh.
is exactly Red Team's win condition right here.
Yep.
Just snowball early.
Oh, Yasuo's coming up now though. He's got
Alright,
this.
he's
Gonna be picked. He's gonna be seen by that ward. He might be able to dash here. Oh, he's got a whole minion. Oh boy. Double kill. Oh, he gets it. Nice from. There's no reason why that should have happened.
No, he stayed too long.
They
got really greedy.
There was even a ward there to pick him out, and they reacted a bit slow to it. Nahlas, meanwhile, getting picked out a little bit.
I don't know why he's in lane by himself, but
Yeah.
also you saw him come through that ward, but you also should have seen the missing ping. And with both of you being that low, it doesn't matter if you saw him coming up or what. You see a missing ping, and you're both like 2 hits from dead. You need to go. Because while catching them in their jungle and getting those 2 kills on Riven and that kill on Kha'Zix was part of your win condition. Part of their win condition is keeping.
Kha'Zix looks like he's gonna go for a gank up top here. He'll be spotted out by a ward. I don't think Maokai notices it yet. Yeah. Oh well. Pay attention to your wards and respect the burst and mobility of Riven and Kha'Zix. It's really high.
I feel like he saw him coming up, but he thought he could get away with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He should advance.
I'm at the... there we go. That's where I want to be. Now Riven is dirty farming. Alright, here's Malphite. He's going to help out here. He's level 4, though. Maokai's level 4. They're not going to be able to do much against her unless... Yasuo. The flash over to make sure you got part of that kill. But yeah, that was good collapse there. Good work by the jungler and top laner. That's one step back to, you know, getting back into the game for Maokai, but it's not over yet. He still has to be very careful in lane against Riven. She can still 1v1 him easy at any point. So he's got to focus on getting every single CS he can, playing careful, warding up, and try to create a scenario to where, you know, he can utilize his teleport to help the team. It might end up being bot lane, even though his lane is pushed up right now. But I have a feeling Jinx is gonna push this back, unless she's not gonna use rockets at all.
Yeah, as Maokai here, you really have to just play this lane really safe at this point. You're gonna get behind in CS, but you just have to go tanky and stay tanky. And look for places to TP to try to catch up with assists.
Jinx needs to be laying down damage. She knows they're focusing Nautilus right there. Nautilus needs to use his ult earlier too. Jinx just... oh my goodness. That whole fight was... yeah, Jinx gave up that fight really early, and yeah, she is. But that whole focus was on Nautilus for the longest time, and she just didn't switch to rockets and punish them for that. If you see the enemy team focusing your support, that gives you a green light to just go and punish them for not paying attention to you. It's something to keep in mind.
Alright, well, it started out looking pretty good for the red team, but this Yasuo's got pretty big at this point.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to get a successful gank off bot here, though. And successful roam from Zed. Yep. They might be able to transition that into a dragon if they get Jinx to go with them. Looks like they're going to try and focus and take this tower early, which I don't blame them. They're trying to end the game early due to their composition. Strong mid-game armor, all attack damage, so trying to end the game quickly is probably one of their priorities.
Yeah.
Like, I understand Riven is kind of trying to freeze out Maokai here, but I feel like she might want to just try and push and either roam or take tower.
Yeah, as Riven, you also have to realize that Yasuo just took that tower.
Yeah. Nice roam by Yasuo there. Interesting choice with the Bloodthirster first on Yasuo. You're really far ahead, so I don't know, item choices can be different at that point. Usually Static Shiv is the go-to first item for Yasuo, I believe.
I've usually seen Static Shiv and/or Bork, and I've actually
into Infinity Edge.
Well, this past week in the Yasuos that were in LCS for rushing Trinity Force.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. They would go static shiv into Trinity Force. Yeah. Kha'Zix's coming in for another gank. Nautilus needs to go in when he sees his jungler right there. It's too late now, and he is really low. Oh, Nautilus, you put yourself in a bad spot. So yeah, Maokai doing a good job of teleporting and like, alright guys, let's focus Dragon, other items, because he's not going to win lane versus Riven at this point. Riven responds accordingly, takes down that tower, and is going on for the second tower. Both good moves by each player.
Alright, Riven's getting classed on again.
She is.
Don't stop and clear that ward.
I don't think she realizes that Yasuo is there too. Yeah.
Even if you don't realize that Yasuo's there, whenever you saw that Malphite was coming, like following you, you gotta start realizing that hey, they had someone coming to kill me.
Bot lane, looks like that Braum Kalista all-in is working very well. Red team is starting to fall behind here, and it's almost going to be impossible for them to come back into this game, I feel like.
I wouldn't say that yet. Most of their kills are on Yasuo right now. It's still the same as I said before the game. They have to get Yasuo shut down, which it's gonna be near impossible with the knockups he has.
Both teams are pretty AD reliant. Yeah, with Yasuo mid. Ooh, almost was able to turn
close.
that.
Red team just needs a group.
Yeah, I feel like Riven is, like, her split pushing is effective, that she's drawing attention, but her team isn't, she needs to realize that her team isn't able to capitalize on that because her bot lane isn't doing well either, and so the focus needs to be kind of helping out the rest of her team at this point, because anytime she splits off, she's going to be focused down right away, and her team won't be able to take advantage of that window of opportunity.
Yeah. There's another tower for blue team.
Yeah, they're they're at the point where red team should be, and it's kind of it's not great.
Yeah.
So there's Riven, she's pushing again.
At this point, you're split pushing, you're way out there, but your team is nowhere close to the same. When you split push, you want to try to be like the same point in your lane that you're in as your team is in the lane that they're in.
Whoa. There you go. Red team was able to actually react. And blue team didn't get to Riven in time. That was a really long chase for them, especially like they had one ward there, but they chased that really far and deep and allowed red team to kind of flank them from below. So, yeah, they chased into unwarded territory. They did have one ward in that tri-bush, but that was it. They knew Kha'Zix was there, but then Kalista kind of went, we don't care, we're going all in with that flash ulti. And that really, that made it basically they're all in. They have no choice at that point. Before that moment, they had a choice to back off. And just like, you know, we'll get them next time. But she flash ultied in so they could get that knock up and really try to get that Yasuo going. And Braum used his ultimate to try and get that Yasuo to ult too, but both of those opportunities missed. And as a result, that team fight did not go their way in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. It was really good by red team to kind of recognize that too. But I think they saw whenever Riven was pushed up that they needed to go, and already we're headed that way.
Is his jump down? There it is. Alright. This looks like it might be a free dragon for blue team. Though, they're gonna have to deal with Yasuo here real quick. Yeah. Blue team can transition this into a free dragon. I think they actually might be able to leave this tower too. Yeah, they can take tower. The next one is more of a question mark. Now it looks like they could keep going. They don't have Yasuo ult. They don't have Malphite ult. I would suggest they just go right to Dragon and hope that red team doesn't follow. I think they can take it fast enough before Jinx and Kha'Zix get there, but we'll see. They didn't set up a ward. They have some wards, but they don't have any in the immediate entrances. Yeah, they're able to take it quickly enough and get out of there. That's good. The whole precision was really good, and going straight into Baron might, yeah, that'd actually be not bad. They're far enough ahead to where they can take it very quickly, especially with Kalista. It's not warded. Yeah, no, that's a free Baron too. Oh, that wind wall blocked Jinxel. I was like, whoa, what happened to it?
Zed was really close to stealing his Q also.
Yeah.
Kha'Zix might have been a little... Kha'Zix.
So blue team is in complete control here. In order to close out the game, their power lies in their team fight. So they could send out Yasuo by himself.
I don't think they should.
Yeah.
Group up.
Yeah, they could probably... They'd be better just grouping up, either taking top tier 2 or just going straight for an inhib turret right now.
I think...
It looks like they could just go in and take that inhib turret.
Yeah, I think the way that their team's set up, they could just push right down mid.
Yeah, it's rude. They should be able to take this tower relatively easy.
If you're going to teleport to a minion, teleport to one that's taking tower shots.
Yeah, that might be a better idea.
I would have just walked there, but if you're going to teleport to a minion, do one that's taking tower shots.
Frank,
that way it stays alive.
Yeah. Whoa! That Riven move was actually really good. Red team is just blowing through. Jinx can clean up. What a turn of events! Whoa! Riven really made the play there. Holy crap. Oh my word. I think blue team just got a little too complacent there.
He took care of their Baron.
Wow. They're gonna be able to get 2 towers out of this. No, they're not gonna get much more. 3.
That bottom
Maybe bot lane, yeah. Oh yeah, blue team's not responding particularly well to bot turret.
They have to be careful with bottom lane.
That's gonna be risky. Yeah, I don't think Malphite has ulti though. Yeah, they're gonna have to back off.
They got a lot of damage on it.
Yep. Wow, that evened the game right up. Ugh. Dragon's not for a while. There's really no other objectives that red team can take. They should probably just ward up their own jungle a bit as they retreat and try to look for another pick or another fight like that, I guess. I don't know how you can look for a fight like that again. I have a feeling blue team's going to be a little more careful next time they go in siege.
That's a big play. Did you flash stun?
It was a flash, stun, or knock up, and then the knock up and the stun. So it was like a flash, stun into knock up, and then Nautilus ult, and then Zed did his job diving. I think he went after one of Kalista or Yasuo, and Jinx just sat back firing AoE rockets the whole time. It was pretty awesome to see. Oh, Riven.
Yeah,
Blue team making a really good decisive decision here.
Red team should.
Red team needs to, yeah.
That lane's pushing up.
Here we go. Red team responded very well here. Oh my goodness. That could lead to maybe a dragon. Meh, nah.
That's 40 seconds for dragon.
Yeah, but it'll allow them to clear out dragon and ward it up.
Yeah.
If they so wish, push out the side lanes, apply pressure that way. So Zed right now could apply pressure top lane by pushing it out a bit, and then going back and then rushing straight to drag. Nautilus right now could be clearing out Dragon Pit with his sweeper. Jinx should be pushing out bot and applying the pressure. Kha'Zix and Riven, they're doing a good job. They're in the enemy jungle. They can put some wards in there too as well. And then they can kind of converge and really make it like make it hard for a blue team to contest this dragon. If they make it blind for him. Jinx and Nautilus need to be there right now though. This is a mistake. Whoa, they took that really fast. I take my words back. I take my words back. At the same time, Jinx and Nautilus need to be very, very careful. Yeah, they're going back. They're going back.
They needed to be with their team. Even though they've had a couple really good fights, it's still one Malphite all the way from them losing the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a little careful here. All right, blue team still being. The one thing I like about blue team is they're being decisive and sticking together as a group. It's been that decision for Maokai and Yasuo to go after Riven after they didn't get her under tower was a bit of a mistake. But it looks like because red team pushed out those side lanes, blue team can't do much right now. They're gonna have to maybe send one person bot. They're gonna focus top. Red team can just sit here and defend. They have bot lane pushing.
That's what I was about to say. Red team just has to be there because I don't think unless
Oh boy, here we go. Oh, Jinx got caught in that Yasuo. That's really bad.
Yeah.
Well, they did get the kill though. Kalista hasn't been able to really sit back and do the damage. She was really... Once she saw Yasuo go down, she bailed. You know, once she saw Yasuo go down, she bailed on that fight.
And they're gonna get that bottom tower from minions.
Oh, wow. Wow. What is going on? The team fight synergy from Red Team is like somehow better, even though they have Kha'Zix, Zed, like Riven. Those aren't necessarily people you associate with strong team fight abilities, but they're making it work, and it's pretty impressive to see. They can kill it. I think they can.
They need.
Yeah, they're playing it a bit careful right now.
Oh, that stutter step from Jinx is gonna get her killed.
Okay, so really good decisiveness from blue team. Red team probably underestimated the death timers a bit. That's gonna be a free Baron. I don't think Kha'Zix should. Yeah, they should just let this go.
Yeah, he's defended Baron before. Do it again. Hey, your Jinx is back in the game in a big way. There's no reason to really risk it on the Baron.
Alright, so blue team with this Baron, what they need to do. They need to get those side lanes going. And they either need to go... They've been focusing that top lane tier 2 turret twice now, and twice it's not been good for them. I kind of want them to still focus it, but if they just want to like not deal with the bad memories, they could just push out. They're gonna have to deal with that Riven. They're sending Maokai to deal with it. I don't know how I feel about Riven split pushing at this point. Does she have teleport up? Okay. The strength of Red Team has been their team fighting with Riven diving in and stunning and knocking up. And whoa, Blue Team really made a decision to not even bother pushing anymore.
Yeah.
Huh.
Riven's having a huge impact on the game right now, just being pushed out in the lane. Because it completely stopped them from using their Baron for a few seconds. Just because she was out.
But no, Red Team needs to be really careful here. They are not in a position to push up against Baron minions. Yeah. They might be able to make a pick here in the jungle. Oh no. See, not on the Braum. Oh no. Yasuo already used only on one target. There's the Malphite ult, but it doesn't do anything. Jinx can maybe... No, not turn it. It's not the fight Red Team needs to look for. At all. That is definitely not the fight they need to look for. That was an initiation onto a Braum, basically. And, yeah, that's not a good decision.
Yeah, it was a good teleport by Riven to try to make something out of it. But that
the decision to fight there was not a good one.
The hook shouldn't have been thrown.
You don't have Baron. You've already delayed them using it effectively. Just go ahead, stay back, force them to engage on you. You've won the past fights by forcing them to do the engaging on you. Why stop things that are working? But here they go. Almost the same thing happened as last time to Red Team. Now they're doing it right back to Blue Team.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems with...
They can go down and take Dragon maybe. Yasuo and Malphite might try and take top turret though.
That's one of the biggest problems with Nautilus support is, you throw the hook in, you're gonna go in whether you hit a wall or them.
Oh, Riven's in a tough spot. She just needs to let this tower go.
She does. Like if they try to use ults, she has Guardian Angel now.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yasuo and Malphite are just gonna back off. Alright. Man, this game is so even, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it was close.
Yeah, it was.
It hasn't really come back to bite her in the butt yet, but I'd like to see Riven not using her stun as wave clear.
Riven needs to back off, yeah. Alright. There goes your Guardian Angel. Good move by Yasuo. Red team is a little split up right now. They have a couple people. I feel like Zed can 1v1 a lot of people on blue team right now. And Riven is strong too. So both of them I'm okay with split pushing, but otherwise I feel like the others, Kha'Zix and Nautilus, need to definitely be around Jinx. But
yeah, I feel like Zed's split pushing right now better than Riven. Because their team fights they've won have been because of Riven. Just because of her setups.
Well, yeah, she set him up, and Zed's like ulted the perfect target every time. He's knocked him down whenever Riven set him up. Oh no. Zed chased that a little too far. That's unfortunate. No, don't. Okay, so you're down a person. You don't need to be going out looking for a fight right now. Oh man. Holy crap, this game.
Yeah, they burned 3 ults on Zed.
Oh. They have a numbers. Oh, they can't. They don't have minions. Oh my goodness. Alright, they're gonna have Zed back up here. Baron's in 30 seconds. Neither team has been worried about it. I think they just now realized, shoot, it's up. We should probably be over there. Whoa, that's a long range initiation by Riven, and it doesn't quite work out that time. They're committed to this at this point. Oh man. Nice Yasuo. I think that might be game.
It might be. I won't put that all on Riven. It looked like when I was watching
I think their start
was going in.
Well,
I think Riven might have thought the same thing.
I think Red Team's getting a little impatient with looking for fights. They need to let it come to them. They're getting a little anxious, you could see, and it's gonna cost them. And they were winning those fights by being patient, letting Yasuo ult in on the, like, just not being caught up by like a 4-man knockup. Only having one person caught in a knockup for Yasuo to ult, and they would just turn on that and then focus the rest of the team afterwards. Now they're kind of trying to force it. They're forcing it out here. You know, it's unless you got a sure pick, don't try to stun the entire team while your teammates are all the way. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you've been able to turn the tide a lot. Whoa. What the heck is going on in this game? Are you kidding me? What the hell? Alright. And then Yasuo and Maokai kind of stay way too long after their whole team leaves. Alright.
I don't know who's gonna win this game.
I don't know either. It's ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't just go straight to the top inhibitor. Jinx and Nautilus. Oh well. Oh boy. Dragon's up in 20 seconds. Red team's already pinged it a bit. Brahma's already thrown a ward over. That's a good job.
Alright. Looking over builds real quick, so we haven't really done that.
No, we haven't.
I don't like Thornmail on Braum.
No? Let's see,
no.
what else does he got? Well, he's got Glory. He's got a bunch of health items. I guess, Frozen Heart, right?
As a support, I'd rather see Frozen Heart. I'd rather
Yeah.
see utility coming
The
from
CDR
the
would be
support.
very helpful for him, I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Red team does not have everybody. They don't want to... Oh, they're in trouble. Oh, wow. Are they all going to be able to get away? Wow. Ooh, Kha'Zix. Okay. Jinx, you need your rockets in there. They need your rockets, not minigun. Not minigun. Oh, well. Well, after that fight, I don't think blue team's gonna be able to finish it, so...
No, it's just their tanks left up.
Wow, this game's gonna go on forever. I'm really glad we switched channels.
Yeah. But yeah, it's for the Thornmail. It's a selfish item, and
There's not many auto attackers on the... I mean, I guess Kha'Zix will weave in his basic attacks, and his Q, I think, is basically a modified basic attack, yeah? Maybe?
Yeah, and I mean, Thornmail's good for Jinx, but you really would rather have the Thornmail on your Maokai and your...
Yeah, red team should be able to stop them from taking inhib. Not destroyed, of course, but... Yeah, there's Zed. Kha'Zix has no mana. They need to keep that in mind right here. Yeah.
You'd rather have your Thornmail and your Malphite and your Maokai and just go with your Frozen Heart on your support.
I'm looking at the other items here.
I didn't really see anything else.
A lot. We have 3 black cleavers on red team, and that's that's all right. That's fine. They have a lot of synergy on their team with black cleaver, almost all of them.
Yeah.
I would like to see more health out of Nautilus. He has no health items besides Sightstone.
I'm not sure I would have.
There's the cat. Oh, they caught Yasuo out, and they're gonna catch out Braum too. Oh man.
You can't catch out Braum. Well, I guess Kalista just leaves him.
Yeah. Does she have ult up?
Yeah.
Interesting. They can just... They have 40 seconds to deal whatever they want. They just need to... Yeah, they gotta go for that top inhib. That's a good idea. She and Zed can do that. Jinx can maybe pressure mid. Nope, they're gonna just go ahead and get this top inhibitor. Whoa. Okay. Jinx wasn't... Jinx, help him out, help him out. Ah. Nautilus, whoa. Nautilus, you need to be there peeling, buddy. I don't know why you're the one leading the way, running away. This right here, you need to be the one locking down people for your carries, dude. And now, you're gonna pay for that with your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that flash wasn't necessarily a good flash either. glad to see that you're wasting time here. I mean, I like this part here, but when Zed and Jinx...
This part's good if he has someone else up that's...
Oh, this part's good just because it allows the death timers on his team to eventually, you know, catch up. And... oh, shoot. Oh, man. Nautilus needs to be the one. He's their front line. He can't be the one. You're not Janna. You're not helping people run away when you're the last one to run away. If you have to sacrifice yourself. That's just how it is.
Even as Janna, I'm usually behind my carries.
That was just an interesting, weird set. I would not Red team's got 30 seconds till Kha'Zix is up. They really shouldn't do anything until then.
There's trouble.
Yep. They just need, they just need to let this dragon go. It's only 4th dragon. It's not 5th.
Yeah. Back to builds.
Oh, they're gonna go straight for Baron. Okay.
When you were talking about Nautilus build, I would still much rather seen the Targons early.
Oh no. You know their whole team's rotating there. You got to be very careful at this point in the game. Anybody can be picked off like that. And just when you had everybody back up, you lose that one person. I don't think there's anything they can... Yasuo just left. Yeah, there's really no fear of losing Baron when you have Kalista, I guess. Alright, well, blue team has 36 seconds to hold off. What is Nautilus doing?
I don't know. I don't think he expected them to just go straight into the base. I don't really know why.
That's game. Oh, red team fought their way back from an early deficit, and then it was just all gone in the blink of an eye. This is a frustrating game for them. I know it must be. I know it must be really frustrating. They played so well to get back into it.
Yeah. You were fighting against a tough comp because their comp was like built around just getting Yasuo fed.
Yeah.
And Yasuo did a good job of doing his part in that. And that helped everyone else do their job very well, because all they had to do was just then sapling kill.
What a game. Congratulations to both teams. You guys really... both teams made great plays. I saw a lot of good decisive team, like, as a team you decided to do something, you went to go do it, and that was great to see. And then, but because of that, both teams are doing that, the smallest mistake led to... Oh, man. Just get rid of those spammers. Alright. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and click on advanced stats. I'll bring up the Twitch chat here. Ooh. I feel like there's a lot to talk about with this game.
Yeah, there's quite a bit we can get into.
I guess we could start with wards. For that long of a game, I'm kind of seeing low ward counts, to tell the truth.
46 minutes. Yeah, pretty low.
So,
as a support,
I'm seeing no pinks purchased by either support, and that's a really big problem.
That is really bad.
That's really bad. And only one pink for each jungler. Each only bought one pink. That's also really, really bad.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I think it's last game. Well, first of all, as a support, I have a goal for my wards, as I want to average about 1 a minute. That doesn't mean I just go out there and just throw my wards out, but I want to try to make my wards count. I want to put them where I can advance them up. I want to always be finding a place to have the most vision for my wards for where I need it, where I think they're going to come. My enemies can attack me from. I want to be able to see that, so I move my wards around a lot, and so I shoot for about a ward a minute. And in a 46-minute game, you're looking at, you should be somewhere between 40 to 46 wards in there, and both of our supports were closer to 30, 34 and 29. And also with pink wards, I was saying a couple of games ago, early in the game I'll buy the one pink ward, but after that, especially after I get my gold item completed, I'll always have two pink wards in my inventory. One in case one gets stolen, and especially if I'm against invisible champions. But I always have two in my inventory, that way I can move it if I need to, and I don't have to worry about that. If we go to take dragon, I can always have that there to clear wards.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, each of those deaths early, like that late in the game where people were getting picked off, that's because you don't have vision. Where you can't make the right call of where the enemy team is, and so you guys are punished for that. Both teams are punished for that. So that's why we kind of saw at the end there, we're just like, what is going on in this game? We wouldn't be surprised if either team won at that point, because neither team was being proactive, placing vision to where they wanted to be on that map, and being careful until they had that vision. So yeah, that's one thing I would like to see worked out from you guys. And yeah, warding, it's important. Otherwise your games devolve into whoever died last. So yeah. Did you want to go ahead and get started with Yasuo?
Yeah. Yasuo, he played pretty well. I'm not real familiar with the Bloodthirster rush. I don't know. I kind of understand what the pros were doing with the Trinity Force build. I think that might have been an option for you. I think it's a pretty good snowball item.
Yeah. And also, it's a mid-game power spike. It allows Yasuo to be more effective in the mid-game. Otherwise, if you're like building straight from Shiv into IE into a defensive item, you're gonna be. It takes a little bit longer to be that strong. Whereas Train Force, you get it a lot faster. You get a bit more survivability, and you get a nice little Sheen proc too.
Yeah, I understand that, Callie. I think that I kind of that's kind of what I thought whenever I saw you build it. Is, well, Bloodthirster will get the turret down faster than a Shiv or a Bork.
Yeah, a Shiv probably would.
But
yeah.
Trinity Force would have been faster than Bloodthirster, because you can just Q air to Sheen proc. You could E minions for Sheen proc, and so I think Trinity Force probably would have been a little better for snowballing, especially like turrets and stuff.
But otherwise, you did pretty well. You chose your ults pretty well for the most part. There was one fight in your bot lane where it was 5v5, and your team won the fight, but you died early because it was Braum or Maokai got a knock up onto one person, like the Nautilus, and you went in on that ult without hesitating. When you have, you had a buffet, like you'll never have this option much when you're Yasuo and solo queue. Your team won't build around you that much. But you had like a buffet style choosing of, when should I ult? Should I ult when Braum ults? Maybe. Should I ult when Maokai knocks somebody up? Maybe. What about when Kalista knocks somebody up? I don't know. Well, what about when Malphite ults? Yeah, I might ult then. When you have that many options, try to be patient and look for the ult that's on the carries for the enemy team, because later in that fight, Malphite had ult onto both Zed and Jinx, and if you had just waited a bit and taken that, I feel like that fight would have gotten a lot more in your favor. You guys still won that fight, and pretty handily, but if you had been waited for that, you would have been up, and you guys might have been able to take more objectives from the enemy team and end the game faster. But yeah, that was my only criticism, really. I thought you played really well.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to say, good job to the blue team and Champion Select. I just asked Callie if he asked for a Yasuo comp, and he said he didn't. And so it's good on you guys to have champions, like, and it's good on you guys to pick champions that had knockups that you knew how to play. Like, don't just pick it just because, oh, I want to help Yasuo, but you know, the Braum had a good understanding of how to play Braum, and that provided synergy with his mid laner. Malphite played a good Malphite, provided synergy with his mid laner. Kalista played a pretty good Kalista, synergy with the mid laner. And even Maokai, who was getting beat early, still knew how to play Maokai pretty well. And still provided synergy with his mid laner. So everybody worked together in Champion Select, and that's really well. That's really good for as a team.
Yeah. Okay. Can you talk about Braum real quick? I'll be right back. Back to deal with something real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I really didn't have a whole lot of issue with your build. We talked about the wards just a second ago. You always, as a support, you should always have pinks, like always. I don't like Thornmail on supports 9 times out of 10. Very occasionally you might see me build it, but especially since you had no CDR in your build because you went with Righteous Glory. Can't go 2 items without CDR in your build, and especially if you start to ward the way that I try to teach people to ward, which is having you're basically a 5 slot. You basically only have 5 slots because one of your slots is for pink wards, and you'll have pink wards, your Sightstone, your gold item, and boots, and then you'll have like a CDR item, and that's pretty much your build. But your warding should pick up a little bit. 34, which is not terrible, but it could have been better. Gotta kind of get an idea of who might be coming. You have to look at your other lanes, say, okay, I don't know where their mid laner is, so I'm gonna put this ward here, or their jungler could be over here. And whenever you're going into the dark, you need a step ward, which is like ward around the corner, like over walls, just to kind of check, see if they're there before you move forward into their jungle or into the Fog of War, just to keep your team safe. Yeah, Thornmail's is really the only thing that I can see in your build that I really didn't like, and that's just because it is a selfish item, and you want to provide utility for your team as a support, and you want to do that not only with your kit but with your items as well. And that's, you know, Righteous Glory still provides the utility of the speed boost. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's personal reasons as opposed to it actually being good. It is a good item.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Are we ready to move on to Malphite?
I believe so, unless you had something else for Braum.
Not really. He had pretty good ults. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Righteous Glory, but... And I guess Thornmail is stronger than it used to be. I would prefer, like, you finish your Glacial Shroud item before Thornmail. Especially because Thornmail now works a lot off of bonus armor. So, I figure it's more of a later game item. But, I can understand why you guys all stacked armor because the enemy team comp.
Yeah.
But yeah. Alright,
Yeah, my problem with Thornmail is not that it's a bad item. I just don't think it's a very good item for supports. Unless you're someone like Taric who, well, I don't know. I guess Braum does give some of his armor with his W, so
Yeah.
I'll let it slide.
Alright, so Malphite. You did pretty well. There was a moment where Riven and Kha'Zix came into your jungle chasing Maokai, and it looked like they're going to get a kill on him, and you were so low on health when you went in to try and help. I recommend just throwing out a Q and running next time instead of trying to go in for a kill.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to save yourself.
Yeah. It looked like they almost got that kill onto Kha'Zix, but Riven would have cleaned both of them up, regardless if they had gotten the kill on Kha'Zix.
You have to kind of think about it. Like, say you had the Riven that was running away from someone. Yeah, your Riven does damage if it's later in the game. Yeah, maybe you try to stop Riven because in the end you're still just a tank, and that is a lot of damage. But it's early game. You're trying to save a Malphite from a Kalista, and you ended up giving 2 kills because neither one of you guys are tanky yet, and you gave 2 kills to Riven.
Alright. Your items...
I just realized that he had his Zhonya's.
That's okay, I think. But the thing is, that's 3 armor items without health, and you have a Cinder Hulk. So try to replace one of those with the Randuin's, I would suggest. One of those 3. It's gonna either be Hourglass or Thornmail, because I feel like that CDR from Frozen Heart's too valuable.
Yeah.
I just feel like you need another health item, but to help balance it out, just for more effective health. But I mean, it's not like a terrible build or anything like that. You don't see too much Zhonya's Hourglass. It's a good. Did he get that for like 6th item?
I assume so. I didn't. Really
Yeah, he got it his last item. So I mean, whatever. Allows him to put out more AP.
Warmogs would have been okay, but at the point in the game where Malphite built it, you kind of knew that you were 1 Malphite ult away from winning the game, and that extra burst from his ult was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Even though they really didn't need it.
Yep. I'm trying to think of anything else in the game that I noticed. You had pretty good ults, you were patient with most of them, and you took advantage of picking people out like Riven at Raptors that one time. You guys were very decisive until you like faltered in that when you had Baron and Riven just like jumped into all of you and stunned, and then wombo comboed you guys. Like after that, you guys started playing a lot more spread out and not as decisive as a team. But yeah. Going on down to Kalista.
Don't like her build.
Her, oh yeah, the static Shiv is the only thing I have an issue with, to tell the truth.
And you don't really build Infinity Edge on Kalista.
Let me take a look at it. I don't think she built it right away. She built it later, right? Yeah, she built it after she had Runaan's and Blade of the Rune King. I guess Last Whisper probably would have been a good option, huh? Well,
yeah, that's what I was looking at. It's generally speaking, you don't really go Infinity Edge, but the enemy team didn't really have a whole lot of armor.
Yeah, maybe just go straight into Bloodthirster then after you finish Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, I would definitely go. I would have went. I know a lot of people have been going Bork first into Runaan's, into
you can kind of interchange Bloodthirster, Runaan's, and Blade of the Rune King on her pretty easily. Yeah, it's those 3 items.
I generally rush Bloodthirster whenever I play Kalista because I'm bad and need as much lifesteal as I can. But you can kind of interchange which one of those you're gonna do. If you go Bloodthirster, you max Q first, and that's probably with Bork too. But I know Runaan's you max E first. But yeah, you don't want Shiv with Runaan's.
Yeah. Also, there was that one fight top where you guys kind of you dove a little bit behind tower to get Riven and you got caught out. And then when things started to go sour, you just bailed right away instead of trying to fight on the outskirts and try to maybe turn it a bit. But I feel like you could have turned it if you're laying down damage during that fight. I don't know. Go back and take a watch and see. Just take a look at team fights and see if maybe you bailed too early or if you went ham one too many times at a certain spot. Just like kind of determine, oh, maybe I ran away a little bit too early here, or maybe something else, or maybe I could have ulted out Braum when he was in trouble and I forgot to do it because I think that happened once. But other than that, you laid down quite a bit of damage. Yeah, right there with Yasuo. You were doing damage. It was just like I think one team fight that stood out where it's like, oh, where is she? But
yeah, that's the only time that I really saw her like not doing something that I wish she would have done.
Yeah. All right. Also, blue trinket and upgrade it. That would help a lot, especially with both teams had vision woes very early on, and Jinx is able to like use that every minute.
Yeah.
90-second cooldown, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it would have helped you out a lot there in late game, help you make picks or save you from being picked off. Yeah, and we're going to go ahead and go on down to Maokai, who struggled early, gave Riven a couple kills. He was able to teleport down at one point and try to affect the other parts of the map. He was not able to, and he was able to affect other parts of the map. He was unable, however, to keep his CS up, and I think that's one of the reasons why Red Team was able to come back a bit, because he was an effective meat shield for the rest of his team at some points.
Yeah. Well,
he was really far behind in items and gold.
The beauty about someone like Maokai that provides so much utility from the top lane is that even if you get behind, you can still get back in the game. And he did. If he would have got his CS up, he would have gotten the game faster, and that he really struggled with that. And also, it could be that I don't really understand the item too much because I haven't played with it a lot, but I'm not real sure Steric's Gauge is that great for Maokai.
Yeah, the plus 25% base attack damage I don't think synergizes very well with him. Like, I know Braum got the Righteous Glory, and you got Righteous Glory too. Honestly, Thornmail at that point almost, but yeah.
Yeah, you could go Thornmail, you go Dead Man's Plate. No, you could go Sunfire.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't have much experience with Steric's Gauge yet, though. I'm going to try it on some of my own games, but I have a feeling it doesn't synergize well with Maokai, and you might be better off getting another health or armor type item. But yeah, try to find a way to keep your CS up during the game even when you fall behind, whether it's taking jungle camps every once in a while. You do have teleports, so you can split push for a little bit and look to teleport for your team.
Yeah, like if you see a wave pushing in on a lane, just ping the.
Oh yeah, Frozen. Yeah, Frozen Heart on Mao is really good. Even I don't know if that was his first item against Riven.
I think it was.
Yeah, that might not be it's not bad, but Frozen Heart's really good on Maokai. He loves the.
Oh no.
Oh, they didn't see it. Okay, yeah. The mana, the CDR, he loves them. All right.
I'm not opposed to getting like the Glacial Shroud early for Maokai, but especially against Riven. But you don't have to rush the whole Frozen Heart because her attack speed's really not what you're worried about.
Alright, I think with that we're going to move on to Jinx here. Let's see here.
Oh. I don't really see anything in item build that I don't agree with.
Um, Instead of Bloodthirster, maybe Blade of the Ruin King. Just because of all the health stacking, also between Maokai, Malphite, and Braum. Maybe.
I don't know. I've talked to people about Bork on Jinx, and some of the higher level people that I've talked to have kind of told me that if I'm remembering this correctly, that you want the Bloodthirster because of your scalings from your abilities.
Well, yeah, it's no doubt it
But-
scales better. But
Well, yeah, but they said that your scalings are so high that you would want that over Bork even if you're against tanks.
alright.
But
Yeah. I like the build.
yeah, the build's fine, and I can't really think of too much in game that where she stood out as doing something
Yeah,
super bad.
I feel like... Thank you.
Oh, yeah, there were a couple fights at the end where you should have came in and fought with rockets.
Yeah, I felt like there was one too many times she went in with the Gatling gun. Try to
Yeah.
look and see, like, rockets will just keep you a lot safer. Even if you aren't getting that attack speed bonus, having the AoE crit chance that you have and the extra range is more than worth it.
Yeah, the extra range is huge to keep you safe, and plus, you can crit all 5 of them with one rocket
Hmm
if you get, the lucky rocket. But yeah, that's the biggest thing that I believe I saw that I remember.
We could go ahead and move on down to Zed. His item build is actually, again, really good, I feel like. He,
Yeah,
and during team fights, he chose the right target to pick almost every single time, I feel like. I didn't see him get caught out that much.
no, I think most of his deaths were in team fights,
Hmm
and I mean, he's a mid lane assassin that was in on 25 out of 36 kills, so
It was kind of interesting because, like, I was looking forward to a Zed Yasuo matchup in mid lane, and that didn't really happen. Yasuo roamed a ton, Zed roamed a ton. They picked up kills else around the map. I didn't really see like a 1v1. I mean, I probably missed a couple instances where they did do that early on, but it was kind of cool how see both those guys really got pretty far ahead in their own way, and they both were pretty key to the successes for team fights. So, yeah. I can't think of anything I would criticize right away. He did chase Maokai a bit too far when Maokai was trying to backdoor their inhibitor.
Yeah, I
He
think that
chased
was
too
out of
far in-
desperation.
Yeah, he
Was-
chased too far into the jungle without vision, and Braum jumped over the wall, and Yasuo ulted him when Braum knocked him up, and then crazy things happened for both teams beyond that point. It was pretty funny, but yeah.
I think early on in the game, and I could have just missed him, but I know whenever Yasuo went top and got the double kill,
Mhm.
I know you pinged Yasuo missing whenever he started going up there, and then whenever he roamed again, I don't remember seeing any more pings when he was roaming, and I don't know if you were just discouraged from the first time, like, oh, they're not gonna see it, not gonna listen, or what. And you might have pinged and I just missed it. There's a lot going on that I'm just trying to watch, but just try to ping every time that your opponent's not in lane,
Mhm.
even if your team's not listening to you.
All right.
It's good to get in the habit that way. Next game, the team might listen to you.
All right. Cool. And I think we're gonna move on to Nautilus here. We both, I feel, we both would just prefer that he went Face
Shield.
of the Mountain, yeah,
Yeah.
instead of Talisman of Ascension. He had no health items besides Sightstone, and then he started building Crystalline Bracer, maybe into, I don't know what that builds into. That's specifically for
Righteous
armor-wise? Righteous Glory. Yeah.
I don't really like Zeke's on. Like, you need to be snowballing to get Zeke's. Or you need to be setting up to snowball.
There was one play that stood out to me, is that when you guys got a 2 kills up, you were 2 kills up, and it was it was Nautilus, Zed, and Jinx and Riven went to take that top inhib, and you guys kind of just all didn't go right away, and then when things started to go south,
oh yeah, protect your carries.
yeah, he was the first one out, and was just like, this sucks for the whole team. Like, drop your slow with your E, use your ult. If you go back and watch, I think you'll see how that you had many opportunities to help assist with your team getting out of there. Your number one job is to peel for your carries, and if they're directly being jumped on, you need to be the one who's, unless it's like, oh, they're picked out, there's nothing I can do. If they're right there next to you and you're just like, alright, well, I'm running away, bye, like, you need to be there protecting them. And yeah, that really was stood out to me. And you got caught out. You guys didn't ward around you in your own jungle while you're going to check Baron, so after Baron was taken, they ran through your jungle unseen, and so you ran right into them, which just hastened the end of the game. And so yeah, you definitely need to, both supports needed to ward more. So yeah, make use of that sights, don't abuse it, run out, say, hey, I need to go grab more wards, guys, be right back. Don't worry about that, just throw out those wards, get vision of where either you're going or where the surrounding area where you are to avoid flanks. So yeah. That's all I gotta say for Nautilus. Do you have anything to add?
No, we pretty much covered it. Face of the Mountain is way better on Nautilus, especially. Okay, sometimes you can go coin if you have other tanks on your team, or if you don't really need to be that tanky that early. But if you were the tank, you were the only person that was gonna build any tank on your team. Just looking at your picks, there's no one else that's going to build tanky. And so that automatically means you're going Relic Shield. Whether you're playing Nautilus or Thresh or Blitzcrank or whoever, you need to go Relic Shield. Not a big fan of Zeke's, like I said, unless you want to, unless you want to snowball. Unless you're going to snowball.
Yeah, if you have like your AD carry has got like 3 or 4 kills out of lane, and you're gonna start going across the map with them, Zeke's is a great idea because you're directly supporting the carry, like the person who's ahead on your team. I don't think that was necessarily the case, you guys, but you guys kind of struggled bot lane. Yeah, there was a point where I think in bot lane where Nautilus just kept getting hit by Kalista and Braum, and Jinx kind of stood back without switching to rockets and, you know, punishing. Like, there's a disconnect in bot lane, and that doesn't necessarily mean one person was bad or the other was bad. It's just, there was just a miscommunication of one would be taking aggro and the other wouldn't be doing anything about it, or and vice versa. It happened quite a bit. But if you're behind coming out of lane and bot lane, yeah, Zeke's Herald kind of puts you further behind and doesn't really benefit. It's not going to help you as much as other tanky items you could use to peel for other people on your team. But yeah.
Yeah, so I would have liked to see, like, instead of that, you could have had your Righteous Glory, and that's a little more health.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a huge fan of that item, but it would have been better than Zeke's there.
Yep.
Can't think of any other item that I would actually build right there offhand, unless maybe a Randuin's.
Yeah, Randuin's great. It's an awesome item. Alright. I think we're going to go ahead and move on to Kha'Zix here. He started the game pretty well. He and Riven got that early kill in the enemy jungle. They did well. He flashed away, saved himself. Itemization wise, I like it a lot.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
I'm fine with everything except for I really wish I would have saw a lot more early pressure, because he's kind of like Lee Sin, except for he falls
Yeah, he
harder
can.
than Lee Sin later.
He doesn't fall apart than Lee Sin, but his damage is way more than Lee Sin could ever hope to late game. It's
Yeah, but he's gonna build full damage, and if Lee Sin builds proper, he's still tanky at the end.
Yeah, early, more affecting the lanes early, especially with those mobility boots. It was like bot lane. I feel like he could have affected a bit more. They were struggling early, and Kalista and Braum were starting to bully and push in all the time. So that might have been a good place to focus a bit more early on in the game. You did a good job getting Riven rolling, and then once Riven started like split pushing top, you like Zed, you and bot lane kind of struggled to do anything with that pressure that Riven was providing. So yeah, try to look for opportunities bot lane. It's the easiest place to grab a double kill and then rotate directly to Dragon. It's a great place to gank and snowball, so keep that in mind next time. Build I really like, and yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Otherwise, unless you have anything to say, Fran, I'm gonna move on to Riven.
No, that's about it for Kha'Zix.
Alright. Let's see, Riven was able to get snowballed early, start applying pressure, got caught out one or two too many times, fell behind, then became this awesome team fighting machine that turned the tide mid-game, and then started leading the charge, and then at the very end got caught out when the enemy team was on their way to Baron because nobody on your team warded. Like, that was a team-wide problem, the warding, for both teams, which led to points where just like, hey, let's all run to Baron. Oh crap, there's the other team. Oh, they're all alone, they're dead. Boom. And it's like, oh, damn. So, yeah, go ahead.
The last couple of games, we've said the same thing to Anniversary, or however you say his name, and he put down 23 wards that game, and,
Yeah.
and his personal warding was a lot better. But
yeah, like there were
just
instances
having-
where he did. It was like. There were instances where he did back off on time, and the enemy team chased him, and his team was able to flank from below and get a kill. That was a perfect example of applying pressure correctly, backing off at the right time, and having your team capitalize on enemy movements. Yeah.
The biggest thing with split pushing is you want to be at somewhat of an even point as where your other lanes are, so that you can you want to be able to kind of know where the enemy is and be able to kind of react, or have your team react to if they're going to come up to you, whether they're going to, okay, well they're all going top, so let's just take this mid tower, or they're all here at mid, we can kind of hold them here, and you can take this top tower while they're all mid. And so you want to know where they're at, so that you can know how much pressure you need to apply, or if you need to back off and they can apply more pressure. But there were a lot of times where you were way up in your lane, and they were way up in the enemy was way up in your mid lane. So you would end up getting collapsed on.
Yeah.
And also
Go ahead.
work on when after you killed Maokai and Kha'Zix in bottom lane, you stay up there a long time, like clearing minions. You need to work on knowing when to back off, because Yasuo roamed up top and ended up getting a double kill there.
Yeah.
And you need to kind of be able to.
Both top laners were guilty of that, not reacting or not respecting the enemy when they're coming up. Yeah.
And a lot of people, whenever I play, I do the same things sometimes, but yeah, just if you don't see Yasuo, try to look at your map every 5 seconds or so, And if you don't see Yasuo and you're really low health and you're up next to a turret, it's probably not a good idea to be here.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Is there anything else you wanted to add overall?
No, overall
that was a very entertaining game. Oh yeah, it went back and forth. One team was winning handedly, then the other team winning very handedly. Like looking at the gold graphics, like boom, 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 like awesome. That was a great game to watch. You guys are awesome. I don't know. I feel like you guys. I don't know that. I don't want to say that. Like I feel like games are getting better, but I feel like Battle Arena games are getting better. I don't know. I could just be imagining it. But thank you guys for stopping by and participating in Battle Arena. Really appreciate it. I'll get the sign-up sheet reset here probably within an hour or two, and you can just go to TrinityForceNetwork.com to go sign up at Battle Arena. Just click on the Battle Arena button, and there'll be a sign-up link there on the website. Stay tuned to the subreddit T-Force Network, so reddit.com/r/T-Force Network. They'll keep you up to date on all the community events. We usually have a tournament of some sorts once a month, and you can find out the TeamSpeak information there. Just hop in anytime you want. There's usually people in there who will help you out, chat, hang out, chill, or learn how to play the game. So go ahead and visit all those great places, and until next